Hi everyone, I'm Jonathan Melendez from The Candid Appetite, and welcome to another episode of Recipe on the Back. This is the show where I... Julian, stop it!
I can wear a mask.
No. Okay. Okay, shush. Shush. Okay. So do you think that's good or should I...
I do it one more time.
It's a show where I find random ingredients at the grocery store and look for recipes that are printed on the package. I give them a try, I rate them, and see if they're good. So let's get started. So in this episode, we have a box of Honey Maid graham cracker crumbs. We are making Honey Maid Graham Muffins. So they're like muffins that are just made with this. And so it's pretty easy because it has the graham cracker crumbs, it has sugar, baking powder, an egg, some milk, and honey. We're gonna make it obviously as directed, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit because when I read it, I thought automatically like s'mores muffins would be good. So we're gonna add some chocolate chips to the batter, dip the tops in a little bit of melted chocolate, and then we're gonna add like a toasted marshmallow on top. Let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is whisk the graham cracker, sugar, and baking powder. 2.5 cups of graham cracker. 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Right off the bat, why I like this show so much, aside from me, if you think about it, all these recipes that are on the back of products, they have to be simple because they only have a limited amount of space on their packaging to create a recipe. And so you're not looking at anything that's like super complicated, which is nice. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, even though the recipe doesn't call for it, but I feel like it could use it. So we're gonna whisk the dry ingredients together. Whisk the wet ingredients and add 1 egg, a cup of fat-free milk, although, okay, I'm gonna be honest, if this recipe doesn't work, it might be because I'm switching so much of it, but I don't like fat-free milk, so I'm using buttermilk because a lot of the times when I make cake or muffins or cupcakes, whatever, anything that has like a cake batter, I always use buttermilk because it keeps them moist and doesn't dry it out. And then 2 tablespoons of honey. We can just eyeball it. I'm also going to add a little bit of vanilla. Again, we're switching it up a little bit. Okay, we're going to whisk that together. Okay, so we're gonna add the wet ingredients to the dry and then just stir this together. I'm gonna add some chocolate chips. I'm gonna add about a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can add whatever you want, like dark chocolate or bittersweet, it's fine. If I were to add these just to the batter like this, they're all gonna sink to the bottom of the muffins. So what I do is I add a little bit of flour to the chocolate chips, like about a tablespoon, and then toss them to fully coat. And then that kind of helps suspend them in the batter and it prevents them from falling down. And then folded it. Spoon it into 9 muffin cups. And then every time every time I add batter to cupcake tins, I always use a cupcake scooper. No, this is not a cupcake. I always use an ice cream scoop because it helps move it into that. It helps move the batter, but also it helps make them all the same size. I think this is going to make more than 9, which is an issue because this says it makes 9. We'll have to write to the Minute Maid company. Honey Maid. Losing my mind. Scoop, scoop, scoop. That's what I'm doing. Oh, actually, I think it made 9. It might have made 10. Let me see. One more. Everything I added to it, the chocolate chips, the vanilla, and then I used buttermilk. At the end of the day, this isn't even their recipe.
You get a cease and desist from Honey Maid.
It made 10 muffins, but I think it's because of my additions. There they are. Can you see them? Can you see them on camera? They look great. So, 400-degree oven for 15 to 18 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out clean. Standard. So, 15 minutes in the oven, done. Oh, I have potatoes in there. for my next recipe. Okay, you didn't see that because we're shooting them on different days.
Well, I see it now.
Muffins are almost done. I feel it. They're done! Look at this. They actually turned out a lot better than I thought they would, which is no offense to the Honey Maid Corporation. They look amazing. Look at that. And they like rose really nicely. I could have filled them up a little nicer, a little higher. I could have filled them up a little higher is what I'm trying to say. But look at that. Like right off the bat, at first glance, they look great. I'm burning my fingers. But it's worth it. I do this for you guys. I'm gonna let them cool a little bit. But earlier, I was reading the recipe like you're supposed to, and at the bottom there, it says something special or special extra. You can mix 1.5 cups of powdered sugar with 2 tablespoons of milk and then drizzle it over the muffins. So if you wanna do that, you could, but we're gonna take them to the next level by making them into like s'mores muffins. And so even though there's chocolate inside, I want to dip the tops in a little bit of chocolate as well, because chocolate. Okay, so we have about 1/2 cup of chocolate, and then we're gonna add some hot cream. And you're gonna pour it over and then just let it sit for a little bit, like a minute. So stir this until smooth, and that's it. And then we're going to dip our muffins into the ganache. Dip it in, let the excess strip off, and then turn it over just like that. And then while the chocolate is still sort of hasn't set, you want to add a large marshmallow to the top so that it sticks. Optional, but I think that if you're gonna have a s'more, your marshmallow should be toasted. Okay, look, they look amazing. And there we go, s'mores muffins. Overall, I think it's a very easy recipe. I changed it completely. In this case, I think I changed it for the better, and Honey Maid can thank me later because this is a genius idea. And I wouldn't be surprised if they thought of it also, but it just didn't fit on the package. I'm gonna try it. It's really good. It tastes like a s'more. Before I give my critique, I wanna try it by itself. If you were gonna make it as written and just have the muffin itself without even the chocolate, I think that they're a little bland. Like they don't have enough sugar in it. It would just be too plain. But maybe that's why they put that special extra drizzle on top, and they're a little dense. But they're still good. How many Napoleons would I give this? I'd give this like 2.5. I probably wouldn't make this again. I feel like you can achieve the same result with a better base recipe. Honey Maid, I still love you. I'll still buy graham crackers when I make s'mores or when I make pie crusts. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week where we'll explore another product on Recipe on the Back. Oh my God, this cat!